Hey everybody, it's Brian Nemhauser. We got the Hawk Blogger Hangout here tonight for the Seahawks Chargers game. And we're doing a little special tonight. It's me from the Hawk Blogger crew. So you're not going to have the Evan food takes or, amazing optimism that we all know and love. We're not going to have the Nathan, amazing breakdowns of what's happening or the pessimistic takes. And we're not going to have Jeff to talk about things in a Canadian accent. But we will have some of the Hawk Blogger patrons along for the ride. We've got a few on right now. We've got Ryan Cleveland. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's fun.
Yeah, thank you. Up there in Mukilteo, one of my favorite spots, at least to golf and ferry through on the way to Whidbey. And then we've got Colin Lundstrom. Colin, where are you at right now?
I'm from West Texas.
Yeah, West Texas, right? So all parts of the country, welcome, Colin. And finally, we've got Chris Rude. Chris, you around? Tried to unmute, but did he get it? He's working on it, folks. Oh, we're not hearing you, Chris. So you may want to try putting in a headset. Keep working on it. But we will be here for a number of hours as the Seahawks are kicking off here. Anyone that wants to join the show, you've got patreon.com, patreon.com/hawkblogger, and $5 a month or more. Welcome to join the show. We've got about 6 slots left in the Hangout to chat live during the game. And then obviously we've got the chat going on with everybody elsewhere. So I'm curious, guys, what's top of mind for you as the game's about to kick off here?
I'm just really excited to see some Seahawk football. I missed last week because I was on a camping trip and had like 0 internet or 0 cells. This is like my first time getting eyes. And of course I forgot to set the DVR like a total doofus. So I'm just really excited to see the Hawks for the first time. I'm excited to see, things like pass rush. I'm excited to see how the defense is going to look against Phillip Rivers. All good stuff.
How about you, Colin?
Definitely pass rush. Frank Clark's first game. The Marcus Smith thing, just weirds me out. So I was hoping to see him. But is Eric Walden playing today? I assume he's not.
No, he's not going to play tonight. And yeah, the Marcus Smith thing is definitely intriguing. Ryan and I were talking about that a little bit before the show started, and something definitely seemed a little bit off with when Pete said that there are personal reasons even before they cut him. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't have him making my final 53, so it's possible that he saw that coming, internally. Maybe that was the case. Maybe there was a violation of team rules that we'll find out about later. Maybe he's going to retire. Maybe any of those things are possible. It was definitely a little surprising. So yeah, pass rush is big. What did you guys think about Rasheem Green last week? I know Ryan, you didn't get to see him. What did you think, Colin?
Oh, it was a breath of fresh. I mean, I don't think any of us thought meaningful contributions like from him probably for a whole year. I mean, rotational at best. I mean, and I don't know if that was short-sighted with Deion Jordan's history, but I mean, I assumed Clark and Jordan and Green would get some snaps along with Jackson and Smith, and I mean, that looked like he could start. So.
It really did. I mean, I don't think people are ready to say that yet, but I think given this team's depth or lack thereof in that role right now, I think there's a chance. I think Quentin Jefferson's another guy that played pretty well in that game, and they've now moved him out. He's playing some snaps at 5 tech as well. He's another one that could push for snaps at that spot. I'll be kind of curious to see how they rotate those guys in. But look, Green he's got to be the quietest third-round pick, or second overall pick that the Seahawks took in a while. People talk more about Michael Dixon, myself included, the punter, than they talked about Green. So, really interesting to see how he if he can follow it up this week with another strong game. So people that are watching online, I know we're trying to time things up. Not everyone's got the same timing on the feed. So I'm going to do a little bit of play-by-play. We'll see how that goes as I'm talking and chatting and doing other things. Right now we're looking at J.D. McKissick, who's back to return kickoffs. We got the new kickoff rules this year. So there's actually had 3 guys back. I didn't realize that when we were watching last game that Rashad Penny actually was back. He was one of the not quite the up men, but a little bit closer. And we're about to get a kickoff, and there's the kick, traveling deep into the end zone, and McKissick takes it, and he's going to almost return it, but wisely decides to take a knee. So, all right, fellas, Seahawks get the ball first. We're going to see that offense that went down the field and scored pretty flawlessly on that opening drive. They did have to convert 1 4th down. Talk of the town's been that Russell Wilson looked damn good in that game. We see Jerron Brown. We see Marcus Johnson, number 14. He's a guy that I have making this team. Not a lot of guys do. Let's see what they do. They've got Nick Van in at tight end. Looks like the starting line. We got Chris Carson behind Russell Wilson. And here's the snap, the handoff. Nope. Play action. Russell finds Jerron Brown for, a lot of yards, and there's an extra 15 for a helmet-to-helmet. Not a bad start, fellas. What do you guys think of Jerron Brown?
I think he definitely, obviously he's making the team, but he's been a surprise for me because when they first signed him, I'm like, okay, is he that good? Because honestly, I knew who he was, but I didn't know a ton about him. But he's been solid so far. I'm pretty encouraged.
Yeah, the knock on him has been more, wow, that was a nasty hit. That's a legitimate helmet. That would have been a penalty last year even. The knock on him had been his hands. And so far, he's done pretty well with his opportunities. Now we've got trips to the left, and there's a snap. There's a handoff to Chris Carson, who bounces it outside, bounces it again, goes all the way for 9 yards. Nice blocking on the right side. I don't know who the receiver was that was out there, but he sealed that corner and gave Carson at least another 4 or 5 yards. You got to love Chris Carson, right? I mean, is there anyone that's not on the Chris Carson bandwagon?
No, love him.
Yeah, I mean, guy brings a lot to that position. Number 17 is out there. There's the snap. There's Carson again. Man, that guy is a freight train, and he's gone. He is gone. So, guys, that is a 3-play. Am I right? 3-play touchdown drive. There's a flag on the play. What is the call here? Guys walking off the field. Looks like it's going to be illegal hands. Oh, on the offense.
Good.
Hands to the face. Nick Vanette. Dang. All right. Well, it was a good-looking run. Let's see this again. So Nick Vanette. Where is it? Oh, it was on Disley. I don't think it was on Vanette. I think they called it on Disley. Huh. Yeah. All right, so we've got, what is it now? 1st and 20. Oh, no, 2nd and 2? Oh, because, the legal hands to the face came way downfield, so they take the 10 yards from that spot. So instead of what was 2nd and 1, they essentially lose 1 yard, 2nd and 2.
Well, this is the great thing about preseason, right? Because we get to see what we need to see in Carson. It's great for Carson. It makes no difference. It's just not so good for Disley or whoever ended up being called for it.
Exactly.
less hot.
Okay, now it's they're 2nd and 4 actually. And there's DeMaurice Stringfellow. That's a first down. Guy definitely looks like a NFL receiver, right? Size-wise.
Yeah, I was really hoping he would make this team. That was way early in camp. I mean, he really hadn't done anything.
Yeah, he's got a big body, and he's getting chances with the ones here, which is interesting. Let's see if Brandon Marshall gets a little red zone target. I'd be interested to see. There's Trey Madden in motion. And here's the snap. Handoff right at the middle to Chris Carson. He was going to bounce it out, but took it up the middle and say like 3 or 4.
Here's the thing
about that was
Mike
Davis. Sorry, not Carson on that one. Go ahead. What was that, Ryan?
Oh, I was going to say, here's the thing about Marshall that I just didn't expect. It sounds like he's just a really good teammate, and that's just his reputation. I think from coast to coast is kind of was a little bit different, or maybe it was just in my mind. But I've liked him as a fit so far. Again, what you know from your house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I definitely have witnessed it myself. I saw him working with Marcus Johnson. There's Russell running. I would rather him not do that. Like, I love his fire, but God, don't need to see that. Let's see what happened on this play. So it's play action. See what happened on this play. So it's play action.
Good job. At least keeping the hands in and not tugging and pulling, because Russell will make your job easier. Most importantly, he will.
All right, we've got 3rd and 3 here. And, oh, man. Melvin Ingram got around the edge and got around Dwayne Brown. So, that's the guy that you're hoping that pressure is not coming from. So instead of a touchdown on that possession, well, it looks like they may go for this. 4th down, Chris Carson's back in the game.
My daughter just walks in 10 seconds ago, and then she thinks, "Oh, I've interrupted another work call. I'm in trouble."
This is work, man.
It's maybe worse than interrupting a work call.
Oh man, they're gonna kick the field goal. I would have liked to see them go for it, but I guess you do gotta know. Oh, and interesting to see that Jason Myers and John Ryan are the first pair to come out tonight for the kick. So, Chris, you can now unmute and see if we can hear you now during the commercial break here.
You could probably hear me now. I switched microphones. I just was checking to see if anybody's got Xfinity, what channel it's on. My other friend was asking. He said he's checked Fox and NFL Network, and it's not on.
It should be on Fox. That's where it is.
Yeah, I'm watching it on Q13.
That's where it is.
Yeah, I'm watching it on Q13.
Yeah, I thought so. I'll tell him that again, but he's nearing 70 years old and having a little trouble with the television sometimes.
Yep. So, interesting in that first drive. I mean, we saw Chris Carson, who looked strong again and had some decent holes to run through. Was running inside, running outside. Didn't get this chance to see the wide receiver that had the good block on his longer run on the right side. Russell looked good, had nice play action, had Jerron Brown for that big throw. That's just gonna be a big part of their game this year. These play actions seem like on almost every play. Mike Davis got a little bit of run there. I like Mike Davis. To me, he's like he's just a guy. I like him and I like watching him play, but I don't think the Seahawks are in good shape if he's taking the bulk of the carries. That penalty really cost them. They were. I don't think that block was the thing that created the touchdown. It certainly would have been a first down without that. So pretty successful drive overall.
There's some terrible tackling by the Chargers there. That was they were I don't know if they saw the flag and they stopped, but that was bad. Still, Carson looks everything we want him to be.
Yeah, and the guys in the chat mentioning that Keenan Reynolds was apparently in there as well. I missed that number. Mentioning he was in there before David Moore. David Moore's a really interesting one in that guy, I've been plugging him from a athlete standpoint this whole time. I think he's a really solid prospect. I don't think he's made as much of a mark on special teams yet. So I think his roster spot's a lot more at risk than people might realize. You know, one of Cason Williams' big issues, and he was a famous cut last year, was he just did not have a lot of special teams contributions. He actually had them during the preseason, but in the course of practice, he was not one of the top gunners or one of the top contributors and not known as a special teams player. So that can really hurt those receivers at the back half of the roster.
I remember so clearly how nuts and berserk everyone was going over Cason last year. And now it's, you know, the crickets, it's like because he didn't make another roster because he got cut by Cleveland, right? He's on the street, right?
He is playing for the Colts, actually.
Okay.
He had a few catches last week. You missed it when you were camping, but he was out there making some plays against the Seahawks.
Okay.
So now we got Phillip Rivers out here, and interesting, the Seahawks intentionally short kicked that. I think they want to get a look at some of their coverage players. Almost gave up a really big return. So now let's see what we've got here on defense. We got Tedrick Thompson out there. Got Tom Johnson still starting next to Jaron Reed. I think I heard that Brandon Jackson was supposed to be starting at 5 tech. I'm kind of curious. Yep, there's 93. Nice, decent pressure. Phillip Rivers having to throw it deep, and oh man, that is a ridiculous play. Wings it out to Justin Coleman, but I think that was Frank Clark applying pressure. Nice to have him back. And Trey Flowers over there on the right side. So he gets the start, it looks like. First and 10 here, about the 50-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Ooh, nice collapsing hit by Clark and KJ. Run defense is a big deal. I don't know if you guys remember from last year, but we all remember about what happens with the Legion of Boom and Cam and Richard and Earl getting hurt and all that stuff. But the run defense ended up 19th in the NFL last year. So I think if they can try to be a better run defense this year, I think that's a huge, huge factor.
Very nervous about week 3 and the Cowboy game.
Oh,
Elliott,
yeah.
I'm here in Texas. That's going to be awful.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Yeah, Bradley McDougall, nice play there. Got 3rd and 3. Let's see if they can get off the field. 3rd and 3 is not an easy down to keep Phillip Rivers from converting. I mean, you guys all remember the game a few years ago where he just tortured us with short passes. And here's the snap. Rivers hits his drop, hits the guy crossing over the middle, and I almost wondered if they're going to call Wagner for a penalty there. But there's Keenan Allen. First down.
Allen's really good. Isn't he the guy that turned Sherman around and Everyone couldn't stop talking about it.
Yeah, Allen's definitely good. I think he had over 100 receptions last year, if I'm recalling correctly. His issue mainly has been about health, durability. But there's Bobby Wagner doing Bobby Wagner things. So 2nd and 9. There's the inside handoff. Oh, big hole. Not good. There's Tedrick Thompson. Oh, Tedrick Thompson delivered a hit. I think he got a little bit of a stinger because he was down there for a second. Did not like seeing Tedrick Thompson just try to shoulder the guy down. He did not wrap up when he came down there. Man, look at Bobby and KJ get split. There's Tedrick delivering the hit.
It looked like his hand got stepped on as he tried to get up, but I couldn't
Oh, is that what
quite
happened?
tell. This happened real quick.
That was not a good look from a run defense standpoint, right up the middle. Here's the pass, complete wide open. Trey Flowers beaten really badly on that play. He was 3 or 4 yards behind Keenan Allen. This is not Andrew Luck and a pretty sorry Colts receiving crew. Yeah, that's not good coverage. There we go, our 1st and goal from the 10. See if the Seahawks can do something disruptive here. There's Quentin Jefferson in there. Oh, man. That Chargers running back went about 7 yards before contact. So I saw 99 in there. I'm curious who else they've got. It's now 2nd and goal from about the 2-yard line. Harsh as well. There's no resistance whatsoever. Easy touchdown. So here's the thing. I mean, you got Naz Jones, you've got Shamar Stephen, you got Rasheem Green in there, and Quentin Jefferson was your 4 on the defensive line. And they were all handled.
Was Reed not in there at all on that series?
Well, Reed was in there to start that series, but was not in there at the end. And there goes the extra point. So 7-3 Chargers. Was there 1 3rd down on that drive? Am I right about that?
Yeah. Just the one.
All right, Brian. So you got Trey Flowers as a lock on your initial roster. Yet, is he gonna be the starter, or is it gonna be one of the other, someone else?
I've been pretty consistent that I don't see Trey Flowers as ready to start yet. Maybe his learning curve just continues to escalate, and he gets there, but I kind of put it as 2 levels. One level, I think he's proven that he can be a safety that converts to a corner and has a career. So I think that's a big deal because Mike Tyson and Eric Pinkins and those other guys they've tried that with haven't worked out.
Right.
But I think he's still really raw. And I have some questions about how I see stiffness in his hips. Like, he does not adjust the way a lot of other corners do. So I'm kind of, jury's out for me a little bit. I think he definitely makes the team, but I think the Seahawks are in trouble if he's starting.
No, I totally agree, and that's why I'm just like hoping Maxwell can be healthy and play. I mean, he played pretty decent last year for coming back and being thrown into it. I thought he was decent, but man, it's just when you're so used to this high level of corner play and defensive back play to see the learning curves again. It makes you think. Some ways for me, it makes me think it's worse than it actually is because it's so much slower and so not assignment perfect. But yeah, it's still hard to watch.
It is. I'm really interested to see Dante Johnson. He's not a guy that played well for the 49ers last year, but it was probably a year or two before that he kind of jumped off the screen for me when he was with the 49ers. He's pretty physical. Seemed like a guy that could fit for the Seahawks. And he's number 39. So look for the Brandon Browner number when we get a chance to see him play. But Byron Maxwell isn't playing tonight. We have a decent idea what Byron Maxwell can do. I haven't thought Maxwell looked that great in training camp, but it's not like he should be. It's not coming off an injury or anything, so he should be fine. We go with McKissick on a return. Ooh, he slips and falls. Not great. 15-yard line. As much as I like J.D. McKissick, I have not seen great things as a returner yet. He seems like he should be like a great returner. Hasn't really jumped off the screen for me.
No, not at all. I don't know how he doesn't break when someone touches it. It's so small.
He is pretty small. So you got Chris Carson out there again. You've got Brandon Marshall and Trey Madden in there as fullback, and then Jaron Brown goes in motion. Here's the snap. Play action going deep. Oh, man, that was to Marshall. What are they going to call? I think they could call offensive PI because I think Marshall was holding him off. But which way they point? I think they might point on defense. Pass interference. Defense. There you go, Brandon Marshall. Let's see this again. Let's see how he does get in position here. Oh, yeah, he's being held that whole way. And he still almost made the catch. Yeah, look at that. That's a good sign.
That's an underrated part of being a big guy is those corners sometimes feel they have to grab them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, remember Sherman and him had just epic battles, right? I mean, he beat Sherman as bad as any receiver in Sherman's time here. Russell going deep down the field. Who is that? That's Jaron Brown. Holy crap. He's still fighting. You got to start to love this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 6'3". He's catching everything that's coming
his way. That's got to be OPI on that one, I think.
You think it's going to be OPI? I hope you're wrong, dude. Let's see.
I hope I'm wrong, too. That's the look I got from it.
Yeah, I couldn't see the like when the ball was in the air. Let's see, pass interference. Defense, yes. Nice. Little Russell.
I'll gladly be wrong on that one.
Yeah. How about Russell deep to a 6'5" receiver for pass interference of about 30 yards, and deep to his 6'3" receiver on the right side. What was that? 35 yards probably. Man, great throw by Russell too. 1st and 10 on the 22, and there's the handoff to Carson. Man, he is shot out of a cannon. Love this guy. There's 12 yards for Chris Carson on 1st down to the 10-yard line.
I rewound the play to Brown, the blocking on the right side. Somebody stiffed the guy. That was sweet.
Holy moly. Was that Ethan Posick? Wait, who's 72 Skylar Phillips? No, that's Jordan Roos. Sorry, Jordan Roos with a really nice block on that play. Is there an injury? Why is Jordan Roos in there so quickly? GJ Fluker out? Yeah, I don't think Fluker's out there. So now we're seeing Jordan Roos, and there's Marcus Johnson, 14's in there as well.
I really thought going into this year they were gonna experiment with putting Ifedi inside, but they seem really bullish and committed to keeping him on the outside. So,
oh God, that's a tough throw. That's to Keenan Reynolds. He dropped it. He's got to make that catch. And you're trying to make this roster that receiver position. That ball hit him in the hands. It's tough. You know, you're missing Tyler Lockett and Doug Baldwin. It's a very different looking receiver position.
I like our receiving this year. It is not an area. I mean, I think it's going to be workable as long as everything goes according to plan.
Yeah. Well, here's 3rd down and goal. This drive's stalled a little bit here. This is a tough conversion. Oh, man. Ifedi just got bowled over. Russell, oh. Tried to hit Vanette again. Couldn't quite come down with it. Whoa, that was not pretty for Ifedi. Let's see here. Watch this. He just gets reverse pancaked. Oh, man. Oh, nice play on defense there.
So I got to say, the Nick Vanette kind of waiting for that ball to hit his body in that situation is something that's bothered me for a number of years. The Seahawks just don't have a guy that can catch the ball with his hands.
Yeah.
Almost every single one of them just tries to wait for the ball to go off their body.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, I think, you know, that's a tough play to make, sliding and running, you know, trying to time it up with Russell. But, you know, these guys are pros. Sometimes they're able to do those types of things. But honestly, I think it was their 2nd down play that really messed that up. If Keenan Reynolds makes that play, we didn't see it, but that would have been instead of 3rd and goal in the 7, and you have a lot more options if you make that play. So you don't know if Keenan Reynolds is going to get that many more chances. It's really tough on these guys. They have to make the most of every chance they get.
No, totally agree. In fact, Keenan Reynolds is one of my sleepers that for some reason, I like his story. I really want to make the roster, but that's brutal because he's not going to get a ton of chances.
All right. Yeah, so how do you guys feel about what you saw in that drive? What was exciting and what was a little disappointing?
Well, I mean, last year we could go 3 quarters before we see a throw over the top. I mean, there's 2 on one drive. So I don't know. The playbook is more open, at least on one.
Yeah, the only thing that discourages me, it's like this is two in a row where it's like we didn't finish.
Yeah, definitely saw that enough last year. Same time, we also saw a lot of the Seahawks not even being able to move the ball at all, not even getting 1st down. So you kind of have to balance it out against that.
I know it's tiny sample size, but like, I mean, how many offensive pass interference calls did we get last year? I mean, so 2 calls. I mean, Brown's catch stood, but 2 calls going the other way. I mean, small sample size, but.
Yep. We got a flag down on the kick return. Holding on the return team. It's interesting. Pete seemed to be really trying to do the short kicks last year. They seemed to think that they could cover and get an advantage instead of giving the team the ball at the 25. In that case, that would have been true. And now with the penalty, Chargers are going to have a long way to go. I'm curious how long Phillip Rivers is going to stay in this game. He does not have a lot to prove. The Chargers start off at their own 9-yard line. Does look like Rivers is still in, and so is Keenan Allen. So number one offense. No pressure at all. There's Frank Clark coming. Ooh, he put a nice hit on, but Tedrick Thompson gets beat. Did not see who caught that. I think that was the running back, but I'm not sure. I think it was Melvin Gordon. If that's definitely do not know the Chargers numbers well enough. But again, you've got Tom Johnson and Jaron Reed inside. Yeah, it was Melvin Gordon on the play. So Chargers are out of trouble. They're at their own 25 now. And there's a cutback by Gordon. And again, big chunks of yards, guys. Trey Flowers is still in there at corner. Not an encouraging look. If you're looking to see the Seahawks defense taking a step forward. So, I mean, they gotta have some playmakers, and that's the question. That defensive line, who's going to be someone that makes plays? Brandon Jackson's out there, and Frank Clark. There's Gordon. Ooh, someone yanked him down. I think that's actually a very generous spot. I think he was short of where they're coming in. Yeah, I don't think the ball ever got as far as they marked it, but whatever. This is part of why there's Shamar Stephen in now. I'd really like to see Rasheem Green in here with the ones. Like Brandon Jackson, there's not a lot of upside there, I don't think.
He's not going to start. I mean, regardless of what happens, probably.
He might start as the thing. That's why I'd like to see the preseason run Rasheem Green out there so that we can see what he offers. Ooh, there's Bobby Wagner playing that play well. Yeah, I'd love to see Jaron Reed be better than like a above average run stuffer and an occasional pass pressure guy. Like right now, he looks like he's going to be a solid starter. I'd love to see something that makes me believe that he can be more. That he can be an impact Pro Bowl kind of guy, but I haven't seen that kind of playmaking from him yet.
No. It would be good, though. We need it.
Yeah, absolutely. So 2nd and 5, Rivers are going to take a timeout. Yeah, I mean, that defensive line, Shamar Stephen, that guy, I haven't seen much of him, but, he's known as a run stuffer. Not someone, that's not a hugely valuable asset. It's great, but, the Seahawks been able to get those every year. So I can't say I'm super excited about him. You've got Tom Johnson, who's pretty old and had a pretty big drop-off in his pass rush ability last year. He's currently starting. I thought he was going to be a rotational pass rusher, so I'm a little surprised that he's starting, and he hasn't done anything yet. We haven't seen much of Naz Jones. Naz had a nice rookie year. Maybe there's some upside there. A lot of these guys are none of them are like fast twitch, quick first step kind of guys that are going to be super disruptive inside. And that's one of the worst things to me is watching your team that cannot stop the run. It is like so aggravating.
Not trying to find the silver lining, but I mean, aren't a lot of people looking at the Chargers as one of the top offenses this year?
You know, I'll admit I have not looked at the Chargers that much heading into this. I think their starters are definitely really good, and yeah, they definitely have a lot of weapons. So sure, I mean it's always good to give credit there. You know, that to me should look like whenever someone's running the ball, it should still look like 4 yards or less, no matter who you are. If you've got a good run defense, definitely not 8 yards or more.
Well, if a corner or a safety's tackling them, I mean, doesn't that mean failure already?
Yeah, in a lot of situations, although it depends, you know, a little bit. Like Cam was obviously an in-the-box safety, so when he's making a play, it's not that big of a deal. Tedrick or Earl are making a play, then yes, they are basically the last line of defense. You know, people remember early days a while ago where Frank Gore would just tear up the Seahawks, and he would get to the second level, and there was just no one there to bring him down. And yeah, the safeties. I remember an Earl Thomas missed tackle, specifically his rookie year, that Gore went like 80 yards on.
Condota is saying Fluker's got a finger injury.
Great.
Fingers. Goodness gracious.
All right, there's the reverse, and Barkevius Mingo could not quite break free, so they get 4 yards out of a play that you really hope you don't get anything. A lot of times you can get those for a loss. Let's watch Mingo on this play. Quentin Jefferson's in there, 99. He gets – Mingo did jump the play. He just couldn't quite get out there.
Yeah, he doesn't spin, and he makes that.
Yeah. 3rd and 1. Who here feels confident they're going to stop him on 3rd and 1? No one's speaking up, huh? Yeah, let's see. Did someone move? Hey. How about 3rd and 6? Feeling confident now?
Better.
Yeah.
But when they're making 7, it's not so good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That is weird seeing Mingo out there. It looks like Irvin, 51.
Right, 51. They're similar athletes. I think this is a little bit stronger. I think Mingo's, you know, he's definitely a fast twitch kind of guy, but I don't think he's all that skilled. Like he's never been a particularly skilled pass rusher. Just been an athlete. So here's 3rd and 6. My guess is they're going to go right after Trey Flowers. There's a snap. Nope, they go the other way. Oh, that's an offensive PI. Pushes Shaquille Griffin to the ground. They got off the field, boys. They're going to have to punt. How about that? Look, the Seahawks defense, if they can be, you know, between 13th and 18th in the league this year, then the Seahawks can be a playoff team. That's kind of what I think they have to be. I don't think this is a top 10 defense. I don't see any way that this is a top 10 defense.
No. And that's okay, right? We just have to, again, adjust to our new reality. But the offense has to be a lot better to balance it out. Otherwise, it's bad if the offense can't pull a little bit better weight than last year.
So what was the positive on that? Shaquille Griffin had decent coverage, so Keenan Allen, who's a good player, had to push off. Trey Flowers did not get picked on that drive. Did not see all those other plays, so it's good to know that at least he's not getting burned every play. I'm doing the Colin silver lining stuff here. Mingo, I mean, he didn't make that play on the reverse, but he definitely showed some athletic ability getting over the cut block. That was nice to see. Anything else that you guys noticed on that drive that stood out?
couple times, especially that last incompletion, McDougal is like, he's doing the whole Earl thing where he's pumping up the guys and making a great play, or Sherm used to do that. Like, that's cool to see.
Yeah. Saw a little bit of Quentin Jefferson there. Yeah, gosh, I can't help but think that we're going to be talking about, remember when Brandon Jackson was getting starting snaps at the 5 technique? Like, it feels like we got a lot of question marks at that spot. We've got Brandon Jackson, we've got Quentin Jefferson, and we've got Rasheem Green. Interesting, though, Quentin Jefferson did get some nice pressure on that. I mean, at least some relatively quick pressure. He did a bull rush and pushed his guy back into Philip Rivers' lap, so Rivers had to get rid of the ball pretty quickly. Here's the punt. Who's returning? Is that J.D. McKissick? It is. Ooh, nice block by Shaquille Griffin. Did you guys see that? Toward the middle of the field. He just, yeah, they saw it. He just shoulder checked somebody to the ground. I want to see a replay there. Here we go. Watch this. Boom. We just got to see that guy make some plays on the ball. That's the difference. He's right now, he's a solid above average starting corner. For him to be a Pro Bowl corner, he's got to start making some plays. You got to start making some picks. You know, it can't just be knockdowns. Russell's back out for a 3rd series. We were wondering how long he was going to play. He is playing here, and Chris Carson's still out there as well. There's a toss to Carson. Not a lot of room there. Chargers bottled that up. There's run to the left, and loss of 2, I think. So I think there's some changes on the offensive line. So, well, we got Jordan Roos. We already had that before. There's a snap. Handoff again to Carson. Little stutter step, not much more there. Maybe a yard. So this leaves them with 3rd and very long. So Ben Baldwin, who's probably not watching, but if he is out there, I'm with him on this one. If you got 2nd and 12, running that ball on 2nd down, it's a really bad choice. For any statistical investigation you do, that's got to be a passing play right there. So we got 3rd and 8.
That is the part of Schottenheimer I'm slightly nervous about.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. There's Russ going deep. He just threw that up. And did that get caught? Holy crap! David Moore with the catch. What the heck? I thought that was picked. Wow. And did Russell take a big hit? He did. I did not like seeing that. Oh, he's getting – how is that – holy crap. What a catch. That has to be defensive PI as well, by the way. Oh, there's – whoa. Yeah, there's Moore doing it again. My gosh, what a series for him. Let's see how he's just a physical player. He's really comfortable when he's in tight coverage. Wow, that was so close to a touchdown. Oh, that was like at the inch line. Come on, Chris. Come on, man.
Those are 2 physical catches by Moore, man.
Yeah, that's encouraging stuff right there. You got to see the Seahawks run this ball in, right? I mean, like, preseason, they had 1 running back touchdown all last year. Attitude-wise, this has got to be something where you can convert this. You're at the inch line.
Yes, please.
I don't even care if you can play action and get a wide open pass. I want to see them run this ball in. This is Brandon Mebane. Here's a snap. Handoff to Carson again. Oh, my God. He gets dropped. I think the ball came out. Oh, man. Does not look good. The fact that Carson's not under the pile is not good either. Oh my gosh, it's a touchback. Ah, damn it. Wow. That is discouraging.
To quote the wise Bart Simpson, this both sucks and blows at the same time.
Yeah. That was a really disappointing end to that series. Well, at least we have David Moore.
I mean, basically the ball came out twice on 2 runs.
It's true. It's true. It's a really good point. He fumbled on the first carry as well, although it was after this, after the play had been blown dead. Carson, I can't remember if he had fumble issues I think he went to Oklahoma State, but that's frustrating. So folks in the chat are also mentioning Trey Madden did not look good there either. I mean, this is the challenge with having undersized fullbacks, and the Seahawks tried to bring in 2 big fullbacks this year. Both of them got injured. So Khalid Hill was a guy I was really looking forward to seeing. We never really got to see him out there. He's on injured reserve already, I believe. So Madden's either going to be the fullback or maybe they'll look elsewhere. But in all likelihood, it's going to be Madden, and he's not a guy that's going to blow people off the ball very often. Yeah. Got a comment that someone was say they'd rather see Will Dissly out there as an H point to look at.
I don't usually watch Husky football. I mean, do they use him in an H-back role at all?
I don't recall as much. I definitely watch Husky football, but I don't. I may watch it mostly just as a pure fan. I'm not analyzing the game very much, so I can't say if I remember or not. But Dissly's definitely capable. Oh yeah, Madden just whiffs, and everybody hits Carson. But still, I mean, Carson's he's got to be able to take hits without fumbling the ball. So it looks like the Seahawks are actually arguing that the ball was recovered outside the goal line, and so there might be a review going on. We'll see. But I guess they didn't challenge. I don't know. The Chargers have the ball at the 20. Phillip Rivers is out, so we've got Geno Smith in there now at quarterback. There's the handoff. I think that's still Melvin Gordon. There's finally a run play that is stopped unsuccessfully. I think there was a gain about a half a yard there. Looked like Jaron Reed, maybe Quentin Jefferson were in on that play.
Is that Geno Smith playing quarterback?
That is Geno.
Wow.
2nd and 9. And here's the snap. Fake. A little bit of pressure, and Geno Smith's going to run with this one, and he's going to get the first down. Oh, no, he slid too early. He could have had an easy first down there.
Is Johnson at corner? I don't see Flowers.
I did not catch the number. What number? Did you see the number?
I saw a Browner number.
You saw 39? All right, that would be Dante Johnson.
Yeah.
They got 3rd and 1. He still got the first unit defense out there. You got KJ, you got Bobby, Reed. There's a snap. There's the handoff up the middle. And he got it. Looked like he got it. Yep. Off the left side. And there is Dante Johnson, number 39. Good eyes. Thank you, Colin. No one's ever going to wear 39 the way Brandon Brown wore 39, though, right?
Right.
He's about as badass as it got on the football field at cornerback. He had his faults for sure, but I love watching that guy play. The 1st and 10 at the 30. Oh, Frank Clark had a step. Oh, there's some pressure though, right? Who was that on the left side that came in there? Frank Clark initially almost got in from the right. And Smith just threw that well over. I think that was Tom Johnson. It'd be nice if that was the case, but they're not going to show the replay.
I think you're right, yeah.
Okay, 2nd and 10. There's the snap. No pressure and a wide open tight end in the middle of the field. 1st down. This defense better be able to get off the field against Geno Smith. There's Naz Jones there in the middle. Brandon Jackson still out there. There's a handoff up the middle. Ooh, nice hit. Who is that? Is that Jaron Reed? I think that's Shamar Stephen. Nice fill right there. And Rasheem Green looks like he's on the right side. Yeah, look at that shed by Steven. Did you see him throw? He ragdolled that offensive lineman. He just threw him to the side.
That's like what we wanted to see from Sheldon all year last year.
I know, right? Interesting. So you got a couple young guys in there in the middle with Naz and Shamar. Different defensive tackle pairing. Now you got Rasheem Green at the top. Oh, there's Rasheem Green. Came right down the line on that play. He made the tackle. That was nice to see. That's the thing that's exciting. It's not just the pass rush with this guy. He's made plays against the run as well.
So I have to tell you now that I don't know if you saw my comment. I moved down to watch it on my big screen. On my iPad, I was about 12 seconds behind, and I couldn't take it anymore. It was so bad because it's like you're giving the play-by-play, and I'm like, just do.
Oh, sorry, dude.
No, it's all me, man.
Yeah. This is the challenge of these things. We got 3rd and 8. Oh, nice pressure. And there's Quentin Jefferson getting home. There's also pressure from Tom Johnson, and even Mingo is in there a little bit. There we go. There's a guy trying to earn a roster spot. Jefferson just, wow, beat 2 guys. Pretty straight path to the quarterback there. And Tom Johnson also. It's nice. Nice series there.
Yeah, that's two series. Stopped him.
Oh, wow. Why are you returning that? Oh.
And the flag.
What was the call? There's no Seahawks blocking around there. I'm kind of curious. So we got an illegal block in the back. Sweet. I'm guessing we will see Austin Davis. Oh, here comes Russell Wilson. Wow.
I would send him back out. You guys finish something. Go score a touchdown.
Russell Wilson's done everything I need him to do today.
You say that now until he gets his ankle stepped on.
True.
Yeah, it's.
I was listening to the pregame interview with John Schneider, and it sounded like he had mentioned that they were going to play most of the first half.
Interesting. Yeah, they did that last year too. It used to be like in the Holmgren days, the starting quarterback in the second game got the full first quarter, and that was it. You know, the last 2 years at least, Pete's been playing Russell the full first half of the second game, which is not cool with me. Not that he's asking, but yeah.
It's really only when they're playing like the bench players from the other team who are all trying to make a statement, and they'll go for that big shot on Russell. That's the only thing I'd be scared of.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a physical game. Well, let's just we'll assume for the best here, and Russell's looked great. I mean, take a look here really quickly, but
I'm really interested in what the offense is going to look like once the season starts, because there's so much they're holding back, and it's like I really want to see how it's going to truly be different. Include the screen game, and it's like I'd really want to see them keep developing that screen game.
yeah.
That was such a void in our offensive game plan.
It's true, and using the running backs more as well. So, guys, you want to guess how many yards per attempt Russell Wilson's averaging?
Is it over 10?
It's over 10.
29.
10. It's 21.4. Averaging 21 yards a throw. I've never seen that before. Good to see them put Carson back out there and give him the ball right again. Like fumbled on 2 straight carries. Got to get that out of his head. Let's see what the left side of that line looks like. Roos is not able to block Brandon Mebane. This is where you hope J.R. Sweezy is going to get healthy, so you got him as an option. I just don't think Roos is a starting caliber guard. You got 2nd and 9. That was 2nd and 8. Yeah, it was 2nd and 8. There's a dump off to Carson. Oof, takes a hit, but complete. Nice to see that from Russell. Quick decision there. Didn't get too creative in the end zone. Shadow the end zone. So now it's 3rd and 1. Interesting. You take Carson out on a 3rd and short. Who do you run behind here? I think you actually probably do some kind of play action. Interesting. I'm wondering when we're going to see CJ Prosise. I think he's going to get a lot of play today.
You mean one play, then break?
Come on, dude. There's the quick pass, and not a good throw there from Russell. That was off target. Brandon Marshall tried to come down with it, but not a great throw by Russell.
That is a quick drive.
Well, good news, fellas. Hopefully we're going to see – yeah, there's Michael Dixon. Little Michael Dixon time.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, let's see what he can do here. Shaquem Griffin is the up back. He's a personal protector, I should say. Dixon booms one. Great coverage. Holy crap, what coverage.
That was awesome.
There's Shaquem Griffin. Look at that guy. Gotta love that. Yeah, I think when you've got a guy that can get consistent 5-second hang time on your punts and kick them like 50 or 60 yards, you're going to have a lot more chances for your coverage units to do something. For all the people that are hating on Trey Madden, and I understand why as a fullback, he's an excellent special teams player, and he was in there as well. He's been in there on both some of the coverage plays here. So he did have the block in the back, though, on special teams as well. So a little bit of both ways. Tough game for him, but he's a good special teams player.
So speaking of Evan, I was just thinking about his world, and I just, by the way, watching your videos, oh my gosh, that guy is just like sheer entertainment to watch. I love it, right?
Yeah.
But I was thinking, someday Pete Carroll's going to retire. So this is the scenario that's going to totally destroy Evan's world.
Okay.
So Tom Cable over in Oakland starts hitting really good. They have a great rushing attack. Pete retires, and the rumorville is that Tom Cable would be the next head coach. It's like, it's almost worth it. Like if you're sadistic like that, but oh my gosh, I think Evan just might explode.
It would be funny for a few minutes as you got to watch Evan react, and then it would set in, and it would just be horrible. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It would. Well, you could also say Evan would sit there and go, "Okay, here's how it'll be great, and we're going to do the best rushing team ever."
That's right.
It's going to be different this time.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who would be more upset between Evan and Nathan, and I think it would actually be Nathan, because Evan would probably quickly come around to why it made sense somehow.
That's a great point. You guys have some great chemistry in those videos between the four of you. That's fun.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a good group. It's a good diverse group too. Everyone brings something a little bit different, and we're gonna try this season to also bring in some more guests, because we've had some amazing guests. All the way from Kenny Mayne to Mina and Danny and Mike Garofalo. There's another pressure. Get turned around. Oh, that was Rasheem Green around the edge again, if I'm not mistaken. Show the replay, please.
You're absolutely right. We need to see him with the ones. I mean, I don't want his head to get too big, but I got to see what he could do against higher tier caliber players.
Yeah, as much as I like seeing Michael Dixon, I would like to see the replay of that play. A lot more helpful. We're not going to see it though, are we? But it was Rasheem Green, because he's on the same spot now, and there he's applying pressure again. And there's Dante Johnson on the coverage. That's fine coverage. I mean, this scheme is based off of you staying on top. And if you're making the tackle within a half a step and when the guy's making a catch for 6 or 7 yards, that's perfectly fine coverage. But
Green.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Green's hands are just so good. I mean, just swatting those guys.
Linemen really have a hard time keeping their hands on him, and that's a great sign. It really is. 3rd and 4 here. Geno Smith making an adjustment. No one believes in whatever he's doing, but they're going to do it anyway. And there's a snap and a try to do a drop the middle, and Tom Johnson is having none of it. Well, the defense getting a little swagger there, right? It looked a lot more aggressive on that series than we've seen the first few. Possible that there's a lot of backup linemen. Oh, there's Eric Walden, by the way. I just saw Walden. I didn't know he was
awesome.
Be in pads tonight. So that's 3 straight punts forced by the defense. Please be smart. Okay, this one goes out of bounds. All right, 3 minutes to go in the half. It's been a pretty entertaining half. I would say the disappointing thing so far has been the run game. Chris Carson's got 9 carries for 34 yards for 3.8 yards per carry. And he had the big fumble there. I mean, the Seahawks, by any account, should be ahead in this game. A fluker injury, if it's just a finger, that's actually somewhat good news because linemen can play with casts on their hands, even if it's a really bad break. So Russell going deep again. Oh my God, Marcus Johnson. Ugh. Tough.
Boy, it looked like he had a little tug on him the first time. It'll be interesting to see the replay here.
Yeah, it's going back and forth. That's just that's fine. Yeah, he could have had that. Those are such tough plays to make. I mean, from a quarterback and a receiver standpoint, the timing on that's crazy. I think that's the best part of his game. People talk about the scrambling, but
the deep ball,
his deep throws are just crazy.
Yeah.
Good. Well, and there's Jermaine Ifedi giving up a sack.
You remember when we were talking about the wisdom of him playing deep into the second quarter? Then I start cringing when I see that.
Yeah. I mean, Ifedi just
turnstile.
Beaten by Melvin Ingram there. I think it was Jordan Roos as well. So both of them got beat. Yeah, that right side of the line. Not cool. I would love to see DJ Fluker. Oh, gosh. Not good. Watkins on the Chargers got rolled up on his ankle. Hope he's okay. So let's go through some of the other stats here while we're waiting for him to get tended to. So Russell Wilson is now he's way down, guys, down to 15.6 yards per throw now. So down from that 21.4. But he's 6 of 10 for 156 yards, 104 rating twice now, which is not great. Talked about Chris Carson already. Overall, the team has 12 pass attempts if you count the sacks, and 11 runs. So we're seeing that balance that they're always talking about. Top receivers, Jerron Brown's got 2 catches for 74 yards. His long one was for 45, and David Moore's got 2 catches for 71 yards. His long was 52. So here we go. This has got to be third and long, right? 3rd and 14. Got to get to the 24-yard line for a first down. There's a snap, false start. Sorry, not a false start. It should be an offsides. Guy jumped into the neutral zone, and then Ifedi moved. Would have been nice if Ifedi just held his grounds, but we know that at least he didn't. Let's see what they're going to call here. Yep. Offsides on the defense. Defense wanted to call Russell for actually moving his hands when he was barking the snaps. You're not allowed to do that. Simulating a snap. Let's see if he does that. Yeah, that's what they're complaining about. But he just raised his hands up. He didn't actually like. It's if you actually like pretend that the ball's coming that's supposed to be a simulated snap. So now it is 3rd and 9. Still have to get to the 24. There's the snap. Russell's got time. Way overthrows Marcus Johnson. I don't know what happened there. He had plenty of time. Good pocket there. Yeah, can we see the replay? No? Here's John Ryan. I gotta say, what's the point? Like, why are we switching punters? Like, Give Michael Dixon the whole first half and give John Ryan like a couple punts at the end. Oh man, terrible coverage. Oh my goodness. This is going all the way back. That was just terrible up the middle. The seas parted.
Yeah, that first guy in there dove too, and he missed by like 5 yards.
Yeah, that was not pretty.
And it wasn't a terrible punt either. That's a bummer.
No, it wasn't. The thing though with John Ryan, and you can't see it on TV. It's impossible to see it. Oh, let's watch this. This is going to be bad. There's Jacob Martin. He is the guy that dove, and there's Delano hit.
That was so bad.
Yeah. Not good. Not good. Jacob Martin, man. That was a bad look. I don't know where he was running to. He was so far off the returner.
The last year, it just seems Ryan routinely outkicks his coverage.
Well, so that's the thing. So that's what I was going to say. You cannot see it on TV, but because it cuts it off. But the parabola, like the arc of his kicks, they've just gotten really shallow.
Right.
And so that was probably roughly the same distance as Michael Dixon's kick. But Michael Dixon's kick is in the air for, it's just in the air longer. It gives the coverage a chance to get downfield. And, that's why there was 3 guys all around the returner for Dixon's kick. Taking a look here. Yeah, John Ryan's punt was actually 2 yards longer than Dixon. It was 57 yards. Dixon's was 55. But I'm guessing if you did the hang time on that, it was meaningfully different. But that's just a guess. So that's a bummer. That's not – Seahawks really need – special teams has got to be a strength this year. They cannot have the defense being a mediocre team and defense and the special teams being a mediocre special teams. You can't really just make up for that with – even if the offense is a lot better than that last year, that won't be enough.
Did Brock say the first Dixon punt was 5-3 on the hang time, or did anybody else catch that?
Holy moly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I did look at the average hang time, and his average hang time was around 5 seconds for the whole game. So it's definitely possible that his first one was over that.
What's considered good?
Like 4-4, 4-5 maybe?
Yeah. 5 seconds is considered elite. I mean, that's terrific hang time for a punt. Yeah, I think that's the thing that you don't see in the box score with punters here is net. They don't show you like the net. You have to look afterwards for that kind of stuff. And so in this case like that, Michael Dixon kicks a 55-yard punt, and I don't know if there was any return on that, maybe a yard or something. So you get a net average of 54. John Ryan kicks 57 yards, but it gets brought all the way back. So your net average on that is 0. And Dixon was a guy that in his first preseason game, his net average was 47. The best in the NFL last year was 44. Not that he's going to do 47 every game, but he would already be up there in the elite category. So I really hope that McKissick's bringing it out because they're wanting to practice returning it, and not that he thinks that he should be doing that or is being coached to do that, because the Seahawks need every yard on offense, and they shouldn't be giving up 4 yards or 5 yards bringing it out. So we got Mike Davis in there. Russell's still in there. Keenan Reynolds and Marcus Johnson are in there as well at receiver. First and 10, 1:48 to go. This is Russell's time in general. Let's see if his receivers and others help him out. There's the quick pass. Not much to Marcus Johnson, 3 yards. Clock's ticking. Interesting, you don't see CJ Prosise here. You know, this is where they've been using him before. Marcus Johnson having to get realigned. Cost him a couple seconds. 2nd and 6. Looks like there's a false start. Who is it on? Do not be Jermaine Ifedi for that poor kid's sake. Whoever it is, that's frustrating. I'll start. And I think they call on Jerron Brown. Well, not great for Jerron Brown, but Jermaine Ifedi lives another day. All right, so 10 seconds comes off the clock because it happened within 2 minutes and the clock was running when the false start happened. There's the snap, 2nd and 11. Quick drop off to Mike Davis. Tries to make some guys miss, does not. Out to the 25. Clock's ticking down, minute 15. Third and 6.
I just don't understand why we don't see Prosise.
I think it's because he's coming back from injury and they're giving Davis the snaps, but Prosise is definitely a better option here. There's Marcus Johnson. You better get that first down. He gets it. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know, poor kid. He was not gonna like what happened if he didn't get that first down. Ooh. Russell felt the pressure and got rid of it quickly. Get out of bounds, dude. There's a little blitz off the edge. Nice to see Russell getting rid of the ball fast there, though, and being decisive. Only 36 seconds to go. Seahawks got a long way to go. 2nd and 6. They're still only at their 36-yard line. Fetty's getting beat. Russell rolls out. Nothing. I think incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 6 with 30 seconds to go.
I'd love to see what he was looking at downfield before the Fetty's guy got right in his face.
Here comes the snap. Over the middle. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, it does. Mike Davis fights for it. Breaks his tackle. The clock is running. Why haven't they called a timeout? There they go. That's their last timeout. So 18 seconds to go. They have time to maybe get one play in the field of play and then spike the ball. Now they actually reset the game clock to 20 seconds.
Have we seen Tanner McAvoy at all in preseason? I didn't really remember him from the first game.
We have seen him. Not a lot, though. He's definitely down the depth chart right now. Here's 1st and 10 from the 42. Russell's going to look. He's got to look farther downfield. Oh, he finds number 10, Caleb Scott.
Whoa, shout out.
Yeah. He's been injured most of camp, so I never got to see him in practice. But they kept him around. I kept expecting them to cut him, but they must see something in him. 2nd and 3, 14 seconds to go. They're now right at midfield. Got to get rid of it. Yeah, even throwing it away is better. You don't want to be running around when you got 14 seconds to go. Caleb Scott's a nice-looking receiver body. Got that Jordy Nelson look to him.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm comparing him to Jordy Nelson. I'm assuming he's going to be that good.
He doesn't seem like he's 6'2". He looks a little shorter than that.
Huh. Yeah, he looks lanky to me, but he's got those cut sleeves.
It looks like Brandon Walters.
Brian Walters?
Brian Walters.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name.
There's the quick throw to Vanette for first. So 4 seconds to go. Bring out Janikowski. Let's see if he can kick like a 70-yard field goal or whatever it would be.
Heck yeah.
He's like, I can do it. Give me a beer and a Red Bull.
Okay, so I've heard how everyone keeps talking about how big he is, but now that I've seen him on TV for the first time this season, holy cow.
Yeah, he actually looks better. Like, it's a little more slim fitting. Fetty's just getting beaten like a drum. And there's Russell throwing it up, straight up in the air for a jump ball. Yeah, not going to happen. All right. Well, guys, interesting first half. You had an opening drive that looked like it was going to be a touchdown in 3 plays. And then you had a block. I think it was Jerron Brown, maybe? No, it was Will Dissly. Will Dissly had that penalty, so it came back. They got a field goal. Then the next drive, they go all the way down the field. Wait, is that right? The next drive they went all the way down the field? And is that when the fumble, or was that the third drive? I gotta go.
That was the third, because they had 2 field goals the first 2, didn't they?
Right, that's right. So, right. Second drive, 77 yards. That was a field goal. Hold on, my dog is upset. I gotta go let him out. 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves.
We're not doing a very good job of talking amongst ourselves.
No, but we always knew this was just going to be filler. We're going to edit this shit out before the rest of the people get it on the Facebook post.
Oh, he's live. This is live.
Oh, I know, but he does the review, right? Or
oh, yeah. So.
Just so you like it.
It'll be good.
Yeah, I think the first string does not look good in any phase of this team right now.
Really? That's your impression of the offense?
Yeah, I was thinking the offense, I just don't think it looks right. I don't know if it's just because there's too many new pieces. To me, it just doesn't I mean, Russ, of course, looks fantastic, but I just think there's too many missing pieces. I don't know.
Interesting. I mean, they went on the first drive went 60 yards, and it would have gone, 75 if not for that penalty. Second drive went for 77. Third drive went for 72. Really should have been a touchdown or at least another field goal. And then these last 2 drives, I mean, this last one, they were moving it. They went 32 yards. They just kind of ran out of time. But they only had 1 drive that was under, is that right? Under 8 yards? No, two drives that were where they stunted there. So I think the Jordan Roos thing, having to have him out there, is not great. I don't think that helped. I think Ifedi, man, I'm interested to see what George Fant looks like in the second half.
Here's the thing about Ifedi. It's like, I just really want to know. I mean, what's your take, Brian? It's like, are the Seahawks just see something in him that they really like and keep hoping, or is it really our depth that not good?
So I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think they feel like they've got a guy that's really pushing for snaps behind Ifedi. And I think they're hoping George Fant can be that guy, but they also are trying to get him back healthy, and so they're keeping him where he's comfortable at left tackle. People have to remember he's still converting from being a basketball player who really never played football.
Totally.
So I think they're trying to set him up for success, but then I do think they're going to give him some competition. He's a massive individual. I mean, Fetty's like a big, strong guy, and I think they like his profile at right tackle and think that he can help in the run game, which, to be honest, I've seen good things from him at times in the run game. It's just his pass protection that's pretty awful, and I don't think I see it really getting better. So I don't know, Ryan. I think it's unfortunate Jamarco Jones went down. That's another guy that I think was rocketing up the charts and had a chance to maybe push Ifedi. So I don't think Willie Beavers or Isaiah Battle, I don't think either of those guys are really real competition for Jermaine Ifedi.
No, that makes sense. It's just hard to watch that turnstile happen.
Yeah.
Every time.
I mean, these are backups he's going against now, too, by the way.
I mean, really, Fant showed ever so slight, but he showed slight improvement in pass protection. And, I mean, Ifedi just doesn't seem to get better at pass pro at all. Like, I mean, I think there was one game, I don't know if it was the Titans game or whatever. There's one game where he did seem to look okay. Then the next game was like an all-time low PFF score or something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no improvement. And I don't know that liability is okay, even if he can be average as a run blocker. Like, that's just such a liability.
Yeah, he was he did not have a good half. Sorry, just tweeting something out here. So, believe it or not, Seahawks total yards in that half 228. Chargers 135. Doesn't feel like that a little bit because, you know, Chargers got 7 points on a punt return. But the Chargers only had one drive that whole half. So it's interesting. In some ways, the defense, I feel like we've been a little hard on them.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. How many drives was Rivers in for again? Do we remember that?
At least two.
He was in two. I want to say
two.
I want to say three, but I'll check in a second. You know, what do you guys think of what you saw from Schottenheimer's offense? I mean, anything different that felt different to you than what we've seen in past years with Bevel?
It's hard to tell a little bit with Baldwin and Lockett out, but I mean, we always complained about Bevel and that the routes didn't make sense as far as like guys couldn't seem to get open. Like, obviously they have to separate on their own. That's their problem. But routes didn't seem to help them at all. And I mean, even the passes that Russ missed or Reynolds dropped, I mean, they were catchable balls.
Yeah, they were open. That's a good point. There's even plays that they left out there for sure.
Yeah.
And that's a really great point about Doug and Tyler being out. I mean, those are their top two receivers. I thought Russell looked pretty darn comfortable throwing to all these other guys.
Yeah, well, the 2-minute offense too is, I mean, Lockett's usually running, you know, across the middle, and Doug's either across the middle or doing a post. I mean, that's like all those games we've seen where they couldn't do anything, and then 2-minute offense, Doug post route 30 yards. You know, where was that? I mean, so that wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely still holding my breath that Doug's going to be – everyone's talking about him being back for the first week, but being back and being Doug Baldwin are two different things. So He's had this mysterious knee injury, and he's never missed this kind of time, practice or otherwise. So I think seems to be more of a meaningful injury than they're letting on, and I really hope that he comes back strong, because if he does, obviously he's a Pro Bowl, almost all pro level player. If he doesn't, Seahawks have they have their work cut out for them a little bit more. What do you guys think of Brandon Marshall? Anything stick out to you watching his really first meaningful snaps?
Hard to tell. I would have liked to see how he blocked on a screen, maybe, or a stretch run or something. I wasn't able to really see him very much. Seemed like he only got two targets, I think.
That's right. I'll be right back. I gotta run and do one more thing. All right. So, some good other notes on this first half. Seahawks only had 3 penalties. I think that's good news. After they had a bunch in the second half of last game. Dante Johnson had limited snaps, but seemed to do all right. I thought Quentin Jefferson had a really nice half. As far as individuals on defense, Jefferson stood out to me. I thought Shaquille Griffin had a nice half. Interesting, Tedrick Thompson is leading them in tackles with 6. I'm looking at that now. That's not necessarily good news. Tom Johnson definitely showed up. He had his first 2 QB hits. He had a half a sack. Who else had QB hits? Frank Clark had one. I thought Clark looked good. He looked solid. Bobby Wagner was Bobby Wagner, so I don't really mention him and KJ, but they did their thing. That one nice play from Shamar Stephen where he really shed the blocker, just threw him off. Saw Shaquem Griffin make that great play on special teams. And Trey Flowers seemed to do okay. So, I saw some things that don't make me very comfortable about him being a starter, but he wasn't completely abused, so I guess that's a good thing. Unfortunate about Chris Carson fumbling it twice. That's meaningful. Even some of the best players in the NFL, Adrian Peterson, Hall of Famer, had a real fumble problem. So you got to take care of that. You can't ignore it. I believe I heard a story about Chris Carson with fumbling actually in college, and that he made some adjustment and didn't fumble again the rest of his career. I might be thinking of the wrong guy, but I think that's who it was. we're getting ready to start the second half here. We got the second unit defense in. Rasheem Green, Shaquem Griffin is in there at linebacker. I saw Delano Hill. We've got Brandon Jackson, Naz Jones, I think Shamar Stephen. Mike Tyson's in there. Dante Johnson looks like he's still in there. Oh, there's decent coverage from Austin Calitro. You know, at some point we have to start giving Calitro credit. Nathan and I were kind of ragging on him last week. He was up there in tackles. He had 8 tackles. They do not have a legitimate backup at inside linebacker behind Bobby. So Calitro might have more of a shot at making this team than we think. So 2nd and 7. And I think Maurice Alexander's in there, safety as well. So there's the snap. King's in there.
Is that 36? Is that King?
Yeah, 36 is King. 35 is Maurice Alexander. So it's interesting. You've got Alexander and Hill at safety. They are both strong safeties by nature. So interested to see if they try to go deep at any point. Luckily, you don't have. You got Geno Smith, so there's a chance that you have a better chance of it going to one of your players than one of his. But 3rd and 4 here. There's the snap. Oh, Smith was about to get hit, and oh man, somebody was wide open, like 10 or 15 yards wide open. What happened there? Don't know if Shaquem Griffin actually didn't drop into the right zone. I saw him in the middle. He faked a blitz and then went forward. There's already a guy covering that guy. Might have been his responsibility to drop back. It's hard to say.
It's a nice play by Geno, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he was about to take a hit. So we got a 2nd and probably 6, I think. What are we looking at on the field? Chin strap? Mouthpiece? I don't know. There's the fake. Good pressure up the middle. Oh, wow. Geno Smith's showing some moves. Holy crap.
Oh, they had him.
I think that was Shamar Stephen who was putting the pressure. Dang. Let's see. Yeah, he does it again. Look at the strength of that guy. That's nice to see. That's really nice to see. He didn't make the play, but that's promising. 1st down. You cannot stop Geno Smith. You can only hope to contain him. Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 40. There's the snap. Little screen and a lot of real estate. Shaquem Griffin comes and lays the wood. A little bit short of the 1st down. They probably got 9, I'm guessing, on that play. And there's Jake Pugh. That's actually the guy from Florida State that they see as a pass rusher and someone who they paid the most money, a signing bonus, of their undrafted free agents. He was hurt early in camp. I was actually kind of hoping to see him rush the passer a little bit and get a feel for him. There's Dante Johnson in motion covering the slot receiver. There's an inside handoff. Good defense right there. There was Maurice Alexander coming downhill from a safety spot. And that's what he's known for. He is a physical in the box safety. I think his coverage is more where he's challenged. And Mike Tyson was there as well, but that's a play that Maurice Alexander gets credit for sure. So it remains 3rd and 1. The Seahawks have a lot of strong safeties. They don't have a lot. You could argue they don't have a free safety on the roster. Tedrick is a free safety, but he's definitely not a speedy one. No problem picking up the 1st down. So 1st and 10 from the 25. Not a lot of pressure, and Smith goes deep to the end zone. Looks like that's going to be a touchdown. Yeah. Keem King never turned around. It is not a good thing when Geno Smith is beating you for 7. Not good at all. So the coverage was not that bad, but there's a height difference for sure with that receiver. And King, he put his hands up at the right time. You got to give the receiver a little bit of credit. I mean, he made a nice play, and Smith put the ball in a perfect spot.
That's a big boy touchdown. That's Mike Williams. It's a big guy.
Yeah. But that's the difference between. I mean, there's a group of players that are excellent athletes and can cover,
right?
And they can be there right at the point of the catch, but never turn around. They don't have the ball skills. They can't make plays on the ball. Those guys are limited. Like NFL players, quarterbacks, and receivers are good enough that if you cannot make the play at the moment of truth, even if you're a good enough athlete, which is amazing to stick with these guys through every cut and every scramble and all that stuff, and you stay glued right to them, but when the ball is thrown, you're not turning around, you're not knocking it down, you're not picking it off. You're just at a different tier. You have a real limit. And the little bit my question was Shaquille still, because he's probably the ultimate example of that. He's in such good coverage almost all the time. And he does make plays on the ball. He's generally strong enough that he can knock it free, but he's rarely turning his head around to find the ball.
I mean, wasn't there some interview where Sherm was talking about how he'll not just watch body language as he's blindly running with someone, but I mean, he'll be watching their eyes, their hands, so that the minute they start making their jump, I mean, he knows where to be and where to look. That's uncanny.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff about Sherm's game that goes unappreciated when you just get used to watching it all the time. But his ability to read the quarterback, he used to play receiver, so his understanding of when receivers are going to do certain things, a lot of routes are meant to fool you, and they're meant to fool you based on body language and fakes. But if you're a receiver and you understand that, that's not where the split should be at this point, based on the way they run this play, I don't believe he's actually going to cut here, gives you a huge advantage. You can be way slower and just know that you're not going to bite on the ball. So those kinds of plays don't come in. Yeah, wow. It was quite a catch. I guess I'm wondering, I guess his butt came in bounds, but definitely did not get 2 feet in bounds. That was the other thing you would coach on King on that play is there was not a lot of push. If he had been pushing Williams, good chance he would have landed out of bounds. So we're gonna get Austin Davis here. And maybe more importantly, are we going to get George Fant and maybe CJ Prosise? There's Austin Davis.
So Swoops in there.
Austin Davis. Swoopy. He looks like Drew Bledsoe to me sometimes. There's CJ Prosise. Takes the first hit, spins off. There's a nice 6-7 yards. There's George Fant. Reese Odiombo. Roos is still in there. Who's that? Willie Beavers is at right tackle. So we got Beavers at right tackle, Roos at right guard, Joey Hunt at center. And then Odiombo at left guard and Fant at left tackle. There's Prosise with a nice cut. Falls forward. Much as everybody hates how much that he gets injured, Prosise has shown a lot more toughness running inside than I ever expected from him when he's been in the game.
For sure.
Listen, I joke about him getting broken stuff, but believe me, I absolutely want him making this roster because that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. Third and 3. There's Caleb's. I think that's Caleb Scott in motion. I'm not sure.
Yep.
Oh, man. Immediate pressure. And Austin Davis is certainly not Russell Wilson when the pressure's on, so that ball gets thrown away. Who was that? Who left? I think that might have been against Fant, but it definitely came from the left side of the line. Would not shock me if it was Odiombo. Of course, we're not going to see a replay. I might have to rewind that when we get to the commercial and take a look. Here's Mr. Dixon on to punt. A lot of hang time again. Flags
that
down.
was almost 5. I was watching the clock.
Not great coverage, guys.
Mm-mm.
See what the flag is. Yep, holding on the Chargers, so they'll move them back a little bit. I think it'll be at 10. I'll take a look. I'm going to rewind to that pressure and take a look and see what happened there. All right, let's see. So Scott goes in motion. The pressure. Wow, actually, the pressure came from inside. It was not against Fant, which is good news. Oh, wow. Hold on. I watch this in slow motion. They're running some kind of game inside, I think, but the tackle, oh my God, he throws Odiombo to the ground. Oh my God. And then Joey Hunt also. Wow. So what happened is the right defensive tackle for the Chargers used one hand and pushed Odiombo face down to the ground. And then Joey Hunt got beaten up inside as well on a kind of a bull rush. So it was ultimately Hunt's guy that flushed Davis out of the pocket, but Odiombo, I don't know, man. He's not good. He's not good.
So, Brian, I got a question. Like, because you probably watched, you definitely have watched football way longer. Like, does it seem like, say, 10 years ago, like offensive line play was just better? or are they worse, or defensive lines worse?
I think that's a great question. I don't think it's even 10 years. I think that a lot of people have talked about that it's the spread offense in college that's led to a lot of the problems, that they're not having to really learn proper offensive line technique. And that obviously plays a role. I think the new CBA has been a huge part of it. They cannot do padded practices. And I watch them do non-padded practices, and it's like patty cake out there. There's no way you can learn to block without pads and without really going at it. So I think that, to me, is a real issue with the quality of the game.
Yeah, man.
So they're talking about Austin Kalicha right now, that he's a guy that's impressed the staff a lot. So we'll see. He's made plays when he's been given a chance, and Chargers start with the ball on the 10-yard line. Play action, little swing into dump off to the running back, and he gets 9 yards. You know, I could go my whole lifetime without seeing a Chargers offense dump the ball to the back over the middle for 9 yards. Like, I think I've seen enough of those. So, second and like 2 inches. See what the guys can do here. Inside handoff. They strung it out. Big loss. Rasheem Green. Nice to see. Again, a play against the run. Let's see him. Thankfully, they're showing us the replay. Just beats the block. Poona Ford's in there as well.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's nice to see. As Evan would say, Poona.
That's a nice edge set. Wow. That's
good pressure there from Quentin Jefferson again. Austin Kalicha running him down. Kalicha's a nice looking athlete. You know, maybe he's our new Brock Coyle.
So I have a buddy of mine who is the yang to Evan's yin in terms of he is the sky is falling Chicken Little, and he's already texting me, should we fire Pete? And so in preseason game 2, and I absolutely love it. He is one of my best friends, but he is the most pessimistic at times. I can never tell how much of it is just delivery and entertainment value, but oh my gosh, it's like if you put him and Evan in a room together, it would just bring the popcorn and the drinks and just sit back.
You know, there's times I've actually felt bad because I harassed Evan so much, and for me it's all in good fun, but it's hard to be that optimistic in the face, especially on Twitter. The face of all the pessimism out there. A lot of people just naturally like to be critics and see the dark side of things. Takes a lot of energy and relentlessness to be positive.
I think he really does enjoy it, and I think it really is who he is, and that's what's cool about it.
Nice return by Cyril Grayson, but there's a flag down. Oh, is he hurt? What happened? Yeah, he's limping off.
Looked like that guy kind of stepped on his leg or something as he was kind of running off as he was trying to get up.
I think you're right.
Well, those kind of awkward little things like that can turn into big deals, though. That sucks.
All right, guys. I think there must be multiple penalties. Got hats on the ground and flags on the ground. There's a holding. Great. And sportsmanlike conduct on the Chargers. So what's going to happen there? Offset, they're going to do it again. All right. Who's going to be the punt returner now? I'm guessing Grayson's not going to come back out there.
Our Walters look alike.
Yeah, there's McKissick. There we go again. Back to the 35, and McKissick running a lot sideways. And gets a few and breaks through. Oh my gosh. Almost got there. The 50. That's kind of fun. Not necessarily sound fundamentals, but fun to watch nonetheless. You guys don't see Drew Bledsoe in his face at all? Come on.
A little bit.
A little bit? Definitely not in his arm.
No. Like, I'm fine with Davis being the backup. Like, if we just decide that now, I just want to see Magoo. Like, I was jacked. We got him.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I was not particularly impressed by him last week.
Right.
But, you know, Pro Football Focus had him rated pretty well. Nathan thought he did pretty well. It's hard for me to think positively about a quarterback that averaged less than 4 yards per attempt. He was doing a lot of dump offs and short throws, but Austin Davis is really limited. I mean,
yeah,
I agree with you. Like, at least you can get some upside potentially. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, Quentin Jefferson again on that last series was chasing after whoever got the ball before the third down tackle. So he's having a nice game.
Yeah, he keeps this up. You're going to have to move him to the dark green soon.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing this all as a defensive end is a really big, important part of it. He's typically been a defensive tackle, but he's been exclusively playing at end today. And so I could make the case that he should be pushing maybe for starting consideration. I just don't think Brandon Jackson has shown me that much as a starting end. I would love to see Rasheem Green in that mix, though. Like, the two of them are at least making some plays, and they're making them against the run and against the pass.
It works for me.
I don't know if it was Colin that mentioned at the beginning of the day the hands of Rasheem Green, and it does show up just kind of watching him and how fast he's able to shed contact from whoever is trying to block him.
It's true. It's nice play action to Tyrone Swoops. That guy's fun to watch when they get the ball in his hands. He's quite the athlete. So J.D. McKissick probably ran about 40 yards to pick up about 9.
It was fun.
The sideline's freaking out. That was awesome. There's CJ Prosise. Oh, man, there is no room there. 3 Chargers. There's Jordan Roos in the backfield getting pushed back again. He has not had a good game.
It's just proof that it's just not about strength, right? Because isn't he like one of the strongest guys in the line. Didn't
He
I
is.
hear that? But
He is.
just technique, and technique.
Well, you got to keep your hands on
Yep.
guys and be able to drive them. Quickness is a big part of it. I wish they'd show these replays. Oh, wow. Holding on the defense. Interesting. You do not generally get that. Sometimes you get interior defensive linemen holding the offensive lineman so the other guy can get through. See what happened here. They probably won't show it. God forbid we saw a replay.
I'm beginning to notice a pattern in your commentary there, Brian, about replays.
I get annoyed. There should be a replay after every play. All right, there's McKissick. Look at him run. He runs at a different speed.
That's where I like him.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about change of pace running backs, and he epitomizes that to me. I mean, he really he looks different than all the other Seahawks backs when he gets the ball.
Well, it's change of pace, and it's like you can't, like how many times last year we'd see them run Lacey up the middle and like a HB dive, and then they do the same play but with McKissick. Like that's not going to work. Like do a play where McKissick can, showcase some speed, not right up the middle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Eddie Lacy is a change of pace in a whole different sense of the phrase.
I still don't even get what they were thinking without him last year. I didn't get it when they signed him. I didn't get it when they kept putting him out there play after play. Just never made any sense.
Oy.
Oh, just go right down.
Willie Beaver's getting beat right off the snap. Wosu is having a fun time against this line. I mean, this second string line, guys, is really rough. Really rough. I mean, Odiambo may not be an NFL player. Hunt has been okay, but not having a good night here. Beavers is, he's a third stringer. I think he's only in there because Isaiah Battle and Jamarco Jones are out. Fant's the one guy that I think has some potential in that group. There's Davis in 3rd and 17. He's going to have to – oh, God. Man, people don't appreciate what we have with Russell Wilson until you see what you have with Austin Davis. I mean, he's on the run, and that's pretty typical, for a lot of quarterbacks when they have to move their feet like that and throw while they're on the run. He's 8 yards off target.
I mean, I guess this looks like what I imagine any other quarterback in the NFL behind our line but Russell.
I think that's probably fair. Only thing that I say about Russell there is that he is not necessarily always great at getting rid of the ball on time, and so there are some situations that we see immediately and see them as pressure that the offensive lineman gave up, where Russell's really actually holding on to the ball too long. Like, I don't think that's the majority of the times, but that's the one thing that's a little bit different. Like a Tom Brady doesn't get hit that much, largely because he gets rid of the ball so quickly. Not because he's obviously a great athlete avoiding pressure.
Well, and he holds on to the ball because of that athleticism. It makes him, he believes he can, score on every play if he just keeps trying.
Yeah. Man, just brutal. It just makes it impossible to watch this offense and get any feel for any of the other players. I guess I'd like to see him hand the ball off to Prosise a little bit more, like they did the first series. If they're not going to get first downs, let's at least see if he can take some of the punishment of running the ball a little bit. Because I don't see this offense getting a lot of first downs the way it's looked so far.
Someone's got to make a GIF, or someone's got to make it that disapproving look of Schottenheimer to Davis when he walked off. That was hilarious.
Yeah, there's someone talking about that.
I was going to say, I think, some of the criticism on, like Brian was talking about Russ, getting the ball out on time. And, you'd never see him go to a 3-step drop and just get rid of the ball, 5-step drop, get rid of the ball. You just don't see that. But I don't see it with Austin Davis either. It's kind of interesting. I wouldn't expect to, because I don't see the offensive line really doing that. But you think that just seeing those guys come to the top of their drop and just throw the ball for whatever reason, you just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd agree there. Like, these are situations so far where Davis is getting chased off his spot. Like, that's different. And Russell definitely has that happen to him a lot too. But there are some situations where Russell takes, because of his height, he takes especially deep drops, which makes it a little harder to block on the edge. And then he also he holds onto the ball. But I mean, it's these are nitpicky things of someone who's already a Pro Bowl level quarterback trying to become, one of the top 2 or 3 in the game. So on defense, we got Naz Jones, we got Brandon Jackson back in. Lorenzo Jerome got some talk from number 40 from Pete this week. He's a guy that made a lot of plays in college, big hitter, took a lot of chances, made a lot of turnovers, tackles for loss. Like, he's kind of a playmaker. Kind of curious to see if he can show that at all here. It looks Trey Flowers is back in. There's a pitch out to the outside. That is trouble. Except there is a flag. Let's see if that is holding on the offense. Someone came flying down to make that tackle. Shaquem is celebrating, but I thought it was a safety that came in there. There's a holding on the Chargers. Looks like they're saying that was Lorenzo Jerome that came in here. Let's see. There's Shaquem Griffin going. Yeah, he got held. Look at Jerome. Yeah, look at Jerome coming down there. He comes with a purpose. What is it? Is second and 13. There's the swing. Oh, Brandon Jackson almost got on that. There's Jeremy Langford, number 1. That's another guy that the coaches talked about this week. He just got picked up recently. And I was another guy, I think, that went to UCF with the Griffin twins and Mutcherson, the safety. So they got a lot of UCF guys on this team. All right, 3rd and 9. Bring some extra pressure. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
That is so brutal.
This isn't even Geno Smith anymore. Wow. Who lost their lane? So Quinn Jefferson comes inside. Calicho gets pushed out of the way. Oh, boy. There's Jacob Martin was applying some pressure, but Cardale Jones ran for 26 yards. Okay, that's hard to watch. So we'll be into the 4th quarter here. Rest you guys sticking with it? You guys are hardcore. Not a lot of people that would watch preseason game down 21-6 in the 4th quarter.
When I get upset when we make the cuts, the roster cuts, I want to be informed when I'm upset.
Yeah, just you, Colin, that sent out that tweet about a Fetty on the sideline.
Yeah, Ian Furness was saying he was like throwing his helmet and other offensive linemen trying to calm him down. Like, it's intense.
Well, I mean, he's getting beaten over and over and over again. I guess it's good that he's upset about it.
Right. It amazes me just this time last year when we made the trade for Sheldon and we were all talking about this death row, and now here we are. Well, Brandon Jackson might be starting, and
I know
Q Jeff is starting, and oh.
Yeah, it's a huge talent difference from where they've been. There's no doubt about it, and there's no sugarcoating it.
Right.
That's why, when you know that for just a fact, that it just makes me really interested in a guy like Rasheem Green. Like,
Right.
get that guy on the field, let him develop, let him learn, let him have rookie mistakes. Do not do what you did with Frank Clark, where 2 years into it, Pete Carroll's saying, "Yep, I look back after this season and we just didn't get him enough snaps. He's a good player." Like, that was understandable because you had Pro Bowlers ahead of him. But you do not have any proven starter ahead of Rasheem Green at the 5 tech. So I really hope they give him the chance.
Green is so soft-spoken, and even like his demeanor on the field is so different from other guys. Even when he made that big tackle in the backfield, like, shook some hands and walked off. Like, I don't know. It's that type of mentality seems to, when you're learning on the job, seems to be a better fit for me, at least. Well, that's what I think.
Yeah. Second and 6. A little bit of pressure. Get him down, guys. Jeez. That is frustrating as heck.
So I know that they do these interviews because it's the fourth quarter of the second preseason game, but I'm just such a purist. It's like, no, I'm still interested in the game. It's like, don't distract. Oh goodness, that's just me.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. 3rd and 2. They've been getting pressure, but they've not been getting home. Let's see if they can actually get him on the ground. Oof. Calicho's coming right up the middle there. Maybe a false start. Oh, delay a game. I'm trying to get my my Puna gif of Nathan or of Evan's shirt out there. 3rd and 7. Oh, nice. Oh, Trey Flowers. Thank you, dude. Someone get that guy down.
By the way, those I don't know what he did. Was that Ben Baldwin that did those videos?
Yeah.
They were so epic. Oh my gosh.
Ben is one of the best FOSs we've got, friends of the show. He does a lot of great video cut-ups. Oh, Shaquem comes inside, almost gets a hand on that. Please make the catch. There we go. Oh, Cyril Grayson's back in. That's good. Good for that kid. So, a little bit harder again, to judge. When we get into these later parts of the game, you got backups against backups. But when the Seahawks were great, typically this is when the Seahawks would extend their lead or they'd come back from being behind because they just had so much depth and so much talent. That is not who this team is right now. But on defense, a little bit more encouraging this week, right? Like I think you're seeing some guys make some plays. I think there's been a decent amount of pressure. They haven't been able to get the quarterback to the ground that much. Offensive line, to me, is the bigger issue on these backups. The offensive line does not look like anyone can function behind it, that backup. So it's even hard a little bit to really evaluate Austin Davis the way things are right now.
No, that's a good point. It's bad. It's really, really bad. So, yeah.
By the way, they're giving Rasheem Green a half a sack. It was Flowers and Rasheem Green. So the legend continues. Rasheem Green also has a tackle for loss and 2 quarterback hits, which is tied with Tom Johnson for the team lead. Team Rasheem.
Listen, this isn't baseball in September when you're calling up, everyone, and their brother to come try them out. But I think there is a space for putting in guys who have upside to let them learn, because you have to learn by doing. And especially this year, it's like, I know Pete thinks that they're going to win the Super Bowl every year, and that's just his mentality, and that's great. But yet, this is the year. If we're going to take some lumps, let's just take some lumps with the right guys with upside in.
Yep.
I do not want to keep seeing old retreads.
There we go. Prosise in space. Oh, that is so disappointing. That is really disappointing. You want to see him. He makes the cut around that player, and he really has something going. And a penalty against us anyway. Well, I like the call. I think that there's a right play call. You're getting a lot of pressure and a lot of immediate pressure, so the Chargers are going to be feeling really positive about themselves. Oh, man. Personal foul. I guess you're not allowed to go low?
It's that leg kick. It's like they're saying he tried to kick his leg back when he went under. So it's not the low, it's the leg kicking back.
Inside handoff. Oh my gosh. Is that a read option to Austin Davis? Oh, it's Magoo's in there. That makes a little bit more sense. Magoo's actually a decent runner. Hey, not easy for the kid. 2nd and long. It's got to be what? 2nd and 27 now or something like that? 24? They gave him a yard on that? There's another screen. Come on, CJ. All right, well. It's 3rd and 17 probably.
Man, I don't understand what Odiambo did wrong there.
On that penalty? Yeah, I don't really know either. I don't know. Maybe there's a new rule, but I don't have the game announcers on, so I can't hear if I have closed captioning. But it didn't seem like they really explained what.
So the leg whip is if you're going down and you try to like kick your legs back, is what they called them for. You know, when I watched the replay, it looked a little more incidental, but
yeah, I didn't really see any leg whipping going on. Oh yeah, this is gonna be offense is gonna be hard to watch the rest of the way. Be ready for it.
Just give Prosise all the touches.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing, right? Like, let's see if he can handle the hits. I mean, he's got to be able to do it. There's Michael Dixon. Looks like that one went off the side of his foot a little bit. Maybe not. Jeez. That kid's got a leg.
4.84 they said. 4.84 they said.
Yeah. I mean, everybody just loves that guy. I mean, they all come over there just like, what the hell? How does he do that? So let's take a look at what he's done so far. This punting has been a big part of the game tonight so far. So Dixon has 2 punts. Let me make sure this is reloaded with his latest. Yeah, Dixon's got 2 punts. It says it has more than that, but 2 punts for 104 yards for 52-yard average.
Yeah, I don't think that's right because I think I've only seen Ryan in for one of them, right?
Well, Ryan's got 2 punts as well.
2? Okay.
Yeah, Ryan's got 2 punts for 89 yards, a 44.5 average. It's a little unfair because Ryan had one inside the 20 where I don't think he could have boomed it. I think, but they're saying they're not showing Dixon having one inside the 20, so I feel like they're missing his third. Hasn't shown up yet. Oh my gosh, these Seahawks lottery commercials. All these like local commercials are just kind of hard to watch. So let's see. Austin Davis's night finishes 1 for 3 for 6 yards with a sack. As of now, we've got Austin Calicho climbing up the charts for tackles. He's got 5 tackles, 4 solo. He's 1 behind Tedrick Thompson and KJ Wright. Shaquem Griffin's got 3 tackles, 2 solo. I think one of those was on special teams. Rasheem Green's got 3 tackles, 2 solo. He's lighting up the stat line again. Half sack, 1 tackle for loss, 2 quarterback hits. There we go. Michael Dixon's third comes in. So he's got 3 kicks for a 53.7 yard average. That is ridiculous. Oh my God. That was about as ugly as it can be coverage-wise. Flag goes down. Let's hope it's on them. But nothing will explain how open that player was. Face mask on the offense. Yeah.
I think it was a left tackle.
Face mask on the offense. Yeah.
Oh, he looks happy.
Yeah, I'm a little less interested in this part than I am in the what was that? In how the coverage is blown that bad. I don't know who was supposed to be in that area. I just want to reiterate for Nathan, who I know I'm sure is watching, is Michael Dixon is going to be a Hall of Fame punter. All right, come on. You know who I want to see is Joey Ivy. All right, number 67. Let's go. He had a really good game last time. He ended up with a touchdown, which was not his best part of the game, but he showed a bull rush. He showed some interior just quickness. I'm curious about him.
So how did you meet and connect with those guys?
Meet and connect with which guys?
With Evan and Nathan and
Jeff.
Yeah, I get a lot of folks that reach out and are interested in. That's a nice play by Naz. Interested in writing for the blog, and Evan had I think we'd been online on Twitter for a while, and he'd been writing at Field Goals, and he wasn't going to write there anymore, and he wanted to come over and write for Hawk Blogger. So I was sure. I think Nathan was just leaving Field Goals at the same time and was looking for another place to do some writing, and they both came over. And Jeff and I had actually talked via email and Twitter for a number of years. He was a former journalist in Canada, so he never had that much time, but he always wanted to kind of contribute to the site. So yeah, just there's a lot of guys that kind of come and go, and or don't have it quite enough to stand out and offer something for the blog, but they each bring something unique. And then you've got Will Cornell, who's been he did the Rain City series and done some other stuff. He's been doing stuff lately, cutting up the podcasts, and helps out on Instagram. And CJ Tamburello's done some writing. Hasn't been a while, but CJ's done some good stuff as well.
I just thought you were a bunch of buddies from. Well, I mean, not Evan, because I think he's a little bit younger, but
yeah.
But the three of you, buddies from college, old drinking buddies or something, and just living the dream, talking about sport.
No, we've Nathan and I have never even met in person. So yeah, I mean, I've met Evan a couple times in person.
You're gonna have to fix that one of these days.
Yeah, we were talking about doing a live, like doing our podcast at a Pagliacci or some sponsors restaurant or something like that sometime this season, doing a live show. Oh, that's Pew. That was Pew. 52, I'm pretty sure. Yep, there he is. That's a nice little flash right there. It's one thing to be kind of unblocked. It's another thing to read the play and to look how he closes the space right there. I mean, when he went after him, he closed down on him really fast. That was nice. Nice athlete. 3rd and 8. Come on. Let's get a little Rasheem Green, get another sack. How about that? Off the edge. Someone's getting. Oh, that's Rasheem Green. Call. There we go. Yeah.
Dude, Brian, we're so going to Vegas, man. Right now. Man.
I mean, he's going up against backups, but still. And you see Jacob Martin? He was the one that got on the edge. He was coming like bad out of hell too. Nice. All right, there's Cyril. Oof, could see that coming. Ouch. Man, nice to see.
That field looks awful.
Yeah, they're playing in some little like rinky-dink place, right?
Oh yeah.
So a little off topic. Is anybody watching the Mariners game also?
No, how's that going?
Not as good.
4-3 now on the top of the 8th, but Bellinger. No, it was better, but Bellinger just hit a home run that was so hard hit. It was like off, like not in the Hit It Here Cafe, but more towards center field, and it still went off the second deck.
Who hit it?
Cody Bellinger.
Okay. Well, they're winning somehow. That's something.
Yes.
And Erasmo had another nice start. That's nice. Well, let's see what we got here. What's it recorded so far? It's got, yep, they've got 1.5 sacks for Green. They got 2 tackles for losses for him now. Guy's a monster. That's really good, guys. I mean, for those of you, and I know you guys are among them, that have been around for the bad times and the good, and we're not just recent Seahawks fans, you know, the Seahawks have not drafted a lot of impact defensive linemen. You know, even Michael Bennett, who they added, he was an undrafted free agent when they picked him up, and they ended up cutting him, you know, into the season. I mean, Bruce Irvin is one of the top, you know, 4 or so drafted pass rushers for the Seahawks. You know, like, and he's only a decent pass rusher. So Frank Clark's already definitely one of the best. So Rasheem Green's looking really promising. There's Magoo. Nice.
Oh.
There's Grayson. There we go.
That was a nice move back to the ball.
Yeah, that was not a great throw. Definitely behind the receiver, but we got yardage, folks. We're in the red zone. How did this happen? What's going on? Let's get Caleb Scott the ball. Let's see what he can do as a receiver. And there's an inside to CJ. Prosise dancing around. I'd like to see CJ Prosise get a touchdown. Yeah, nice play by Grayson. That's a guy's he's a world-class sprinter who's been trying to learn wide receiver. Ooh, CJ's going to take a hit there. Get up, dude. Everyone wants to see it. All right, 3rd down quickly. Under 5 minutes to go in the game. Let's get a little Magoo touchdown. Oh, going up high. Malik Turner. Woo! There you go. Congratulations, Mr. Magoo.
It's good.
Yeah. Turner's had a nice camp. I think he's out of Illinois. He did not do much in college, but every time he's gotten a chance when I've seen him, he's made some nice catches like that, contested catches. I think he's like 6'2". He's a bigger receiver. Nice release there. Yeah. And a nice throw, honestly. I mean, that was a perfect throw. Look at him. Look at the kids. You got to love that, right? I mean.
Absolutely.
That's great. Oh, they're going for 2. Why not? Let's go. Pete wants to win this thing. Oh, he's doing it again. Back shoulder. Yeah. Nice. Nice one, young gun. That's nice little drive right there. So you had 3 really, you know.
Looked like that was going to be a fade, and you just put a little more.
Yeah.
Like he was going to throw it high and over the coverage and saw the separation and pulled it down and threw it tight.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's definitely it was a perfect back shoulder throw.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. It's the fourth quarter. We're way behind. We're not going to win. It's a preseason game. And a Seahawks touchdown and 2-point still make me smile. So that's the good thing about football.
Exactly. Well, look at how excited he is, man. All right. Well, he's officially moved ahead of Austin Davis in my mind.
All right.
Like he doesn't have to show much. He doesn't have to show much. Oh my God! Look at Janikowski. Oh, pooch kick. What are they doing? They trying to get like a turnover off of that?
They gotta just want to see what the special teams are doing.
I don't know. That was weird.
That looks okay. It didn't help that the broadcast production was like a little bit lost.
Yeah, I would rather seen Dixon do like a drop kick. That would have been more fun at least. But I think they did something with Janikowski's jersey. It's more tailored this week. Last week it was like down to his knees and like super wide.
Yeah, he had dad bod last week, man. It was pretty funny. That thing was like a triple extra large, just hanging down past his.
Yeah, it really was.
It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah. All right. Well, this defense has been interesting. There's Poona Ford in there. Still got Rasheem Green in. Kind of crazy. There's Lorenzo Jerome. Nice tackle coming up in the box there. Emmanuel Beal, 43. Keep an eye on him a little bit. Had a nice game last week in special teams. There's Joey Ivy, 67. There's Jeremy Langford, number 1. And there's Naz Jones. Naz Jones, is he playing at end? Yeah, Naz Jones is playing at the end. Bottom of your screen. There's the run. Oh, my goodness. Fooled me. Fooled the Seahawks. Easy first down right there. Seahawks got 3 timeouts. I guarantee you Pete's going to use them. So Jones used to be up in Buffalo. Is that right? You guys know?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think he did. Who? Cardell Jones.
Yeah. Did he?
Yeah, I think he used to play in Buffalo. I might be totally wrong, though.
I was thinking he was like
Oh, boy. Wow. Who missed that tackle? Was that Delano Hill? No, that wasn't Hill. Something fast off of him. Was it Jerome? I thought. Yeah, I think it might have been. I like his aggressiveness. I like how he comes downhill like with an attitude, and his clothing speed's really pretty impressive. But you got to wrap up if you're going to make that play. There's another handoff. They're going to run. There's Poona Ford. There's Emmanuel Beal. That's that guy I was talking about. Good athlete. Pretty skinny, though, for a linebacker. There's a 2-minute warning.
He's so going to try to win, and he should, but he's going to do everything he can to win this game.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, I almost want to root against Janikowski.
Why is that?
Oh my word! He looks like watching him kick that ball. Looks like when I'm watching my dad in the yard with my kids. Like, stop running.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
Something.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just root for Myers and be done with it.
I mean, was there nothing else better? I guess not.
Well, the thing is, he's a good kicker. Look, we had Olindo Mare, who is like old age guy, and he was a good kicker for us for the time he did. Janikowski is not going to ever be like a Blair Walsh. He's never going to have confidence issues where he just can't make it. Like Janikowski is like as cocky as they come for a kicker. So, and his leg looks plenty strong. So yeah. I think he's fine for the season, but I do think they need to find somebody. One of the most underrated moves of John Schneider's tenure of Seattle is picking up Steven Hauschka. People forget. I mean, he was on the Broncos roster.
Right.
Was it 2011? I don't know when it was. Maybe it was 2010 even. Any event. And the Seahawks got him at the end of that preseason. So, I think Hauschka has been one of the best kickers in the NFL, and I do wonder if they made a mistake letting him go. He is older, though. I mean, he's a little bit on the older side. He's not Janikowski, but he's probably 34 or something by now, 33.
Yeah, the only thing with Janikowski, I guess, is that his percentage is not that much greater than even Walsh's was. Like, when you look at his field goal percentage, he was over 90 once, like 5 years ago, but it's like 86 is kind of where he tops out. 84, 80.
Oh, there's the game. Damn it.
Dang it.
Well, fellas.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, that's too bad. But all in all, some encouraging signs on defense. Rasheem Green looks like a star in the making. He looks like a starting caliber player. I thought saw some good things from Austin Calitro. Talking about second half, only started to talk about first half. First good look at Shamar Stephen. I saw some good things there. We even saw a little bit of pass rush potential. One play from Jake Pugh. I wouldn't say that I'm going to make a huge deal out of that, but I liked what I saw there. Something that, probably is going to be hard for him to make up time at this point, given that next week is going to be 3 quarters starters. And then you're going to have game 4 where you get the bench players some time. Nice to see Tom Johnson making a couple plays. That's a big deal. Other than that, not a lot stood out second half on defense. I think Puna Ford had a couple plays, looked good. Let me double check what his numbers are. I thought I saw him. Yeah, Puna Ford has 4 tackles. Been active. Michael Dixon, enough already. Let's move John Ryan. Let him sign on. Buffalo lost their punter. People are talking about doing a trade. I doubt they're going to give him anything. Like, just cut John Ryan so he can go sign with Buffalo and keep his career going. There's no chance that he's this. Tackle for loss.
Yeah, I agree on Ryan. I mean, it's easy, on math, it's just a really easy decision. And we just want to honor the guy, right? Let him go do his thing. He's been a Seahawk forever. Let him exit gracefully and go get another job.
Yeah, that's my take on it. I mean, you could say be selfish, keep him till the 4th game, make sure there's no injury problem that makes you need to have another punter, but it's a roster spot they could be spending on something else too. Oh boy. Well,
Got some time. We're going to come back here.
You're going to have to miss a field goal here.
Listen, never let facts get in the way of a good story, Brian.
That's right. So, yeah, nice game for Pugh overall. He's down up to 4 tackles.
Yeah, I'm with you. I liked Green today. Starting offense was okay. I mean, they had some good long drives, so I'd like to see them finish a lot better, really step on some necks figuratively as they finish those drives. But Lord help us if we have any injuries on that O-line. It's not pretty.
It's true. I mean, right now the Seahawks have 313 yards of offense. They had 250 or 55 or something like that in the first half.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was nothing in the second half other than that one drive. Poor Robert Aguayo. See if he can make a field goal. 39 yards. And he puts that one through. Well, we're going to get to see a little bit more of Mr. Magoo. That's not a bad thing.
Nope.
It's interesting. Like the Chargers offense actually did better in the second half, but I felt better about some of the plays that the defense was making. I think there was the one series where Mike Williams scored that touchdown, and there's a lot of like quarterback runs. I mean, if you look at it, let's check it out. Cardell Jones has 41 yards rushing. Geno Smith had 14 yards rushing, so that's 55 yards rushing. The Chargers have 176 yards rushing tonight. 4.8 yards a carry. Detrez Newsome has 19 carries for 78 yards. Why are you bringing that out? Makes no sense. Ran all. Oh, then you got a penalty. Jesus.
Make it a little bit worse. Eddie Diaz blew the save.
No. Oh, man, for real? All right.
I've got to do some research or something and figure out like what percentage of returns have illegal block in the back. It just feels like a lot.
It is a lot. Joey Fant playing right guard. You got Marcus Henry at center right now. I think he's a Bellevue High grad, as a matter of fact. A little dump from Magoo and CJ Prosise.
Yeah, but I like how he stepped up really decisively and just avoided that pressure.
Yep. Oh. There's a throw to Tanner McAvoy, and he stays in bounds for no reason.
Man.
Man.
That makes no sense. And they are not. Do they get set? That looked like a really weird formation. At least we got cool uniforms. right, final snap, most likely. Oop, gets tipped. So not the final snap. 4 seconds to go. That was Magoo's first incompletion on the day. He's now 7 for 8. Meanwhile, Austin Davis finishes with a 42.4 passer rating. A little bit of a stark contrast there. 1 for 3 for 6 yards versus 7 for 8 for 76 yards and a touchdown.
And 2-point conversion.
Yeah. Trayvon Boykin will tell you that throw it deep to Tanner McAvoy. That works in the preseason. Really? All right. Okay. All right. Well, fellas, thank you for wait, what's going on? Oh, it's a defensive penalty. Hey. Personal foul, face mask. That's right.
Keep it going.
Right. I'd be happy to
just don't throw a 5-yard pass again.
I know, right?
Dude, what's the risk? There's no risk. Just do something.
CJ Prosise has got 5 catches. Leading receiver.
Yeah, I feel Prosise is held up okay. He had 1 or 2 runs in the beginning that were decent, but he didn't jump off the page at me at all tonight, which is I was kind of bummed.
Really?
Maybe I'm just not remembering right, but it's like
there was one pass play where for me he definitely should have been able to avoid a tackle and would have had a big gain on it, but his runs that he had in the first, when there was actually any room to run, he did pretty well. To average 4 yards a carry behind this offensive line, I think is kind of remarkable.
I guess what I'm comparing it to, it's and like I said, in the first few series in the beginning, he did well. I'll be quiet while this play goes.
Nice that Magoo did a little fake snap or hard count, got him off sides. There's his deep. Let's see his deep arm. Come on, come down with it. Oh, someone. No, I thought he got it. I thought Swoops had it for a second. All right.
Yep.
What were you saying, Ryan? About?
There's just electricity that just wasn't. What in the world is going on with that screen?
Oh, that's crazy.
There was just, and this is just totally subjective, just an electricity to his step that I just didn't see tonight that I felt like I'd seen before. But
yeah,
that's all.
That's fair. Yeah, I think keep in mind people were working overtime last week to explain how Rashad Penny only had 2 yards of carry and actually played better than you thought, and he was playing behind these backup linemen as well, and Prosise is double that.
No, that's a really good point. It's just I think doesn't matter. I could belabor this all night.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fair opinion to have, and definitely did not make any game-changing plays, no doubt about that.
Yeah, here's the best way to explain it: comparing him to himself, not comparing him to I thought he played decently. But comparing him to himself in the past, I thought, well, maybe there's a little bit even more. So that's all. Yeah,
it's fair. Well, guys, I appreciate having you. It was nice hanging out tonight, and not a great result for the Seahawks, but some of the players that mattered played well. So that's always a little bit of silver lining there.
It was good.
Hey, right, thanks for having us. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. Have a good rest of your night.
All right, cheers.